Welcome to Oklahoma Real Estate Radio, the podcast for industry professionals who want to be in the know. I'm your host, Christi Gillentine, and join me as I talk to the best in our business as they share valuable market insight, offer solutions you can use now, and share local information you won't find anywhere else. Thanks for joining, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Becky Zarecki is joining me today. And Becky is an icon in the Oklahoma real estate industry. She's been around for decades. She had her own company, Classic Realty, and she's also worked for some of the largest brokers in our state. Becky recently moved to St Petersburg, Florida with her family, where she's doing real estate as a broker for Engle and Voelkers Realty and living her best life down there by the beach. But today, Becky's going to be joining us and talking about what's going on in our market and how you can secure your next transaction to make it go as smooth as possible for both you and your clients. Hi, and welcome, Becky, to the show today. I'm so excited to have you.
Hi, thank you, Christy. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Do you miss Tulsa?
Oh, terribly. Terribly. I do have quite a bit of sunshine over here.
Oh, yeah. I know Tulsa misses you for sure. We definitely miss you here. So it's so good to see you today.
Thank you. Same to you.
So, Becky, tell us about your real estate journey. How did you get started in real estate and how it got you where you're at now?
Okay. A lot of it, which is exciting. We go back quite a few years.
We do.
I really cherish that in those times. So I started in property management a long time ago as my original journey into real estate. And I liked it, but I don't know that I loved it until I switched over into the traditional sales side, which required a license. And so that's when that took off. And I have never looked back. I absolutely love this business. I went on to have my own company. I owned it for several years, sold it. Pretty soon after that is when I met you. And then we started working together at Keller Williams, and those were some of the best years of my real estate journey. I was getting to meet you and Ryan, and quite a nice group that we put togetger then. I'm so proud of you guys and what you've done.
You were like the mother hen when we came in to Keller Williams.
I'm really still that mother hen. Those people around here would say that too, probably. You
got to credit you, Becky, because when we did make that move, our business tripled that year. I know you had a massive part of that. So I'm sure you're bringing all of that knowledge to the agents you're working with down there in Florida.
Thank you, Christy. It's inside each of you that does it, but I love being a part of it and I love watching it. It's my favorite thing. I think that's why I love real estate so much. So it's nice to hear that. Yeah.
So you made the change from sales and then did business development for some companies and then opened your own company, right?
Correct.
What kind of led you from sales into the business development?
Pretty early on, I, like you called me a mother hen, felt more excitement helping someone get into this business and get kick-started off and see them soar than I did helping a buyer and seller, though I know how important that is, and I still help a lot of friends and family in this business. But I had a deeper passion and love for helping people sell real estate and excel. And that's really what drew me to the business development side and learning the ins and outs of having my own brokerage.
And you really thrive at that. That speaks about when we did get together and we started working together, the market was just starting to pick back up. That was around 2011, 2010. And things have changed a lot, especially in the last couple of years. What are your thoughts on what's going on nationally? And also, I'm sure you've seen what's going on here in Oklahoma. What are your thoughts on that?
So, yeah, I do keep up with that. I think any of us in the business that really treat this as a profession work hard to keep up with that. I'm a strong follower of Lawrence, the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. So I follow him. He called the crash in 2008, quite a few years before. So I'm really feeling so much comfort in following him right now because of what we've been through in the past. If you were here during that time period, it was a tough time on a lot of people. And probably my best accomplishment is that I was still in the business and thriving at the end of that. So that was incredible to see a lot of people get through that. Yeah, and we follow the direction of him. Like 2 years prior to that, say things are coming. The cycle is it's meant to happen. I don't know how or what, but we're heading into this perfect storm. And so follow him. So I'm continuing because of my trust in him, in Real Trends, in Inman, like following these experts and making sure to educate people on what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. Yeah. So what I am so excited about is we're not heading for a crash, and everybody's talking that it's not a crash we're heading. It's just a cooling of the market. Yeah. And I bet you agree with me when you say we need it.
Yeah, I call it like a normalization, right? Like almost a normalization of the market. So
perfect. That is exactly, we've needed it. You and Ryan sell a lot of homes. So thinking about the number of transactions that you guys do on an annual basis and how much harder you had to work to close this plethora of business that has come during these COVID years, they were harder though, weren't they? They were so much harder to close. So I'm excited that we're going to head to a period where it's going to get back to normal, like you said.
So are you seeing the same thing there? Are you guys seeing a normalization in Florida on the market as well?
Yes. Yeah. We still, I'm like Oklahoma because I was pulling the stats for both places. We still have a record low inventory. So that's it's going to take a few years to balance that out. But with interest rates on the rise a little bit and buyers calming down a bit, instead of fighting for these properties, they're staying on the market a little bit longer. Yeah. We need more of them on there, in my opinion, but they're staying on the market a little bit longer, which is giving the buyers a little bit of a break. They can take a breath and say, you know what, I'm going to think about this one overnight and make sure this is the house I want, or play things into their favor. Something that I learned recently that might help you guys if you're not doing it yet is this 2-1 buy down. So instead of, have you been doing that? Yeah.
That's starting to pick up here.
We're doing it a lot here. And instead of sellers paying closing costs that they've not been wanting to do for the last 2 years, they've not had to. So it's hard to get them to want to do that again. Mm-hmm. However, they don't mind buying down a buyer's interest rate so they can get into their home. And that's what that 2-1 buy down will help them do. So I love that part of it. We've been using that a lot.
That makes sense. That talks to us about the agents and the challenges that they're going on, right, in this market with the people that are having the high interest rates and the low inventory. And that's really what is going to save, I think, our market from any real crash that the media is talking about. There's just not enough homes for the buyer pool that we even have. So here in Oklahoma, I think we would need probably 4,000 to 5,000 additional homes like right now in order to be an even market as far as inventory goes.
Yeah, that is right.
So what are some of the solutions that home buyers can find? You're talking about the 2-1 buy down and that type of thing. What are some of the other things that agents should be looking at or could be looking at to solve some of those problems for their clients?
Yeah, I think go back to being creative like we had to do in the last couple of years. Don't give up just because those things aren't working now that we had to do to buy a home with multiple offers. Jump in and educate yourself. Talk to your lender. Stay in contact with your lender at least 3 times a week. Used to, if we could talk to our lenders once a week, we were fine. Yeah. We could be caught up. It changes every second. So I say definitely be in front of your lender, on the phone with your lender a lot more often. Mm-hmm. You know what's going on and know how to direct these people. And it's just educating them, educating yourself, and then educating them to give them that next creative up on the purchase.
Right. What do you see some of the opportunities? You've lived here. You're an Oklahoma native. You don't live here now. But looking at our market, where do you see some of the opportunities?
So I think anytime a market is in any type of a shift, I think it's a perfect time to buckle down. Your opportunities to me are to go back to basics. I know I keep saying jump out there and learn new ways of negotiating, but actually getting the business, finding the houses for your buyers is what you need to be doing. When we don't have enough inventory for the buyers, the people that are winning right now are finding new ways to get listings. Knock on doors. Tell everybody that you talk to in the grocery store or every chance that you get, wear your name badge. Let people know this is what you do. And see if they know anybody that's thinking about selling. It's still a really great time to sell. Prices aren't dropping. They're just not continuing to inflate.
Yeah. And if real estate agents are educating themselves and looking at the Inman news and following the things that you were talking about, they're going to be ready to have those conversations when they come up. They're going to have the answers.
Yeah, that's what you've got to have. In today's market, in today's savvy buyer, they're taking it upon themselves to learn it. So we have to learn it even better.
That's true.
It's
That's very true.
Responsibility.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. For new agents coming in, and maybe some of these people that have only seen the market that we've had in the last 2 years, or maybe coming in now to where in the shifting period, what advice would you give them to get started being successful?
Run! No, I'm kidding. Run, but run to this business, because real estate is something 37 and a half years, Christi. LinkedIn reminded me.
Wow. Congratulations. And you're not crazy.
No, I'm not crazy. And I still love it. That's what's amazing. But I've been through a lot of ups and downs and changes. But one thing I can say, and for someone coming into this business, don't let anybody else's fear that's trying to talk to you about, oh, this is a bad time to do it or that. Real estate is never a bad time. You just have to know what time it is and how to work it, because people are always moving. There's always movement. They're either upsizing or downsizing, but they are always moving, or they're buying investment properties. They're buying houses. There's always movement in real estate. So always is a good time to get in if it's something you're passionate about.
Just be in there, leaning in and treating it like a career, like a job.
Oh, gosh, that's the key. You see right away, I'm sure you do too on your team, like when someone comes in, and then we try to always hire that way, but when someone comes in and that's how they're treating it, like head of the pack.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Looking back over your career, Becky, what are some of the things that you live by that could pass on to some other agents?
I would probably say the most important piece of advice I could give or share in my time, and I'm not perfect at it, but I sure try very hard to always be kind. You don't have to be a bulldog in real estate to win at a transaction. As a matter of fact, like the calmest, kindest person in the room has won already. Mm-hmm. So in negotiations, in picking up new clients, in meeting a new vendor, like if you are kind to other associates, other agents that you're going to be competitive with, we share this I feel like such a privileged industry that there's always room for you to be kind and nice. And I would say, always take that road.
Yeah, I do fear that it's going to get a little dicey out there as things change. And it's a good thing to keep that in mind, that no matter what the market is, to be kind to each other, because you're going to be on the other side of a deal with that person again at some point. And we have to win for our clients. And that's the key to that.
To them. We're not winning for our clients when we're upsetting the whole situation and making it worse.
Throwing some gas on that fire.
Exactly. No gas.
What are you doing right now? I know you mentioned Inman and some other things. What are you doing right now to stay abreast of what's going on, and where could agents plug in to get some of that information?
Yeah. So keeping current matters. I love it. Love it.
Okay.
I pull it up every day. Keeping current matters is really good. I think it's really aggressive and forward thinking. I always, once a week, will pull up Mr. Lawrence Yun, my favorite, and listen to his podcast. And a couple other people that might be his predecessors are showing up on the scene. And so I'm watching a lot of their stuff too. He's at the National Association of Realtors level, so realtor.org. You should be able to find him. And I also am a big fan of Real Trends.
Yes.
And Steve Murray, that owns that, is phenomenal at what he does, and is a great friend and mentor to Cheryl Chenoweth, who I just absolutely adore. And I follow them. That's what I do. And that's what I would say. Those are like the big hitters. And then locally, stay involved and find out as much information and stats as you can from your local board and from your state board. They will always help you be at the top of the heap when it comes to education.
Yeah. Upper echelon.
Yes, upper echelon. Let's switch to that.
Are you reading anything good right now, or have you read anything good this year that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I have. I was thinking about you the other night because I've read this like for the millionth time, and I gave this book to you. You may not even remember when you first started, but it was called The Compound Effect.
Oh,
Darren,
yes. Yes.
Take you way back. So that
Yes.
that little book is such a fantastic read, and all these years later, I still use it. I give out probably 20 or 30 copies a year to people when I have an opportunity for someone that's trying to figure out a system or what's going to work. And I said, well, nothing's going to work if you don't start making these little bitty changes. They're what compound and make the big difference. Right. And so the Compound Effect, I just read it again a couple weekends ago because I was sharing it with a class here in St. Pete at Engle and Voelkers. But also I pulled up I finished reading Chase the Lion. Have you read this yet?
I have not.
Great book by Batterson. And it is, I think for right now, is so relevant. I knew it was going to help me through part of the COVID years and with that battle, but what we're heading into now is even more important because strong are going to survive. And what he talks about in this book is, number one, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. You need to focus on having dreams that are big enough to scare you so you'll run after them. Yeah. And so you were saying, what do, new agents or someone coming into the business need to do? He says in the very beginning of his book, he says, keep running to the roar. So
run to the roar.
Keep doing the things that are going to get you to the end game, and
I like that.
You'll win.
Yeah. Just keep that energy up. Run to the roar. I like that.
Run to the roar. Keep running to the roar.
What kind of changes do you think are coming in our industry in the near future? What do you see coming our way that we agents need to be keeping our eye on?
Obviously, what we've talked about here already on the show today a little bit is the cooling or the stabilization or the normalcy of the market. That coming, don't get complacent with that. You've got for that to balance out and you take your share at least. And you want to also be there so you can pick up what other people are laying down and not taking the time to go grab. And to do that, you've got to stay focused on those old school things, in my opinion. Get back in the neighborhood, start farming, start knocking on doors, meeting these people face to face. Again, they want to get out and see people again. So I would say with those changes coming, that's what people need to be doing. Other changes that I see are if you were completely reliant on buying leads, to diversify yourself a little bit. The leads aren't what they used to be for a lot of different people. Number one, to the account of the leads providers, there aren't as many people looking online for houses right now. So there aren't as many leads to give out. So don't rely on that. So be prepared for that change. Getting back to the basics and meeting people will out-trump that every day anyway.
So get organic, do the door knocking, the open houses, the brokers opens are also coming back. Are they coming back there?
I know. Yes. We're so excited. We have open houses again, just people flooding through them over the weekends. It's really nice. And brokers opens almost every day. It's nice to see again.
Some normalcy, some of that normalcy we were talking about.
Yes.
Becky, a lot of agents right now, because of what's going on, they're battling that junk in their mind that, can I do this?
It's probably one of the toughest battles every real estate agent or advisor is going to face. And that's this right here. Overcoming that need to tell you can't do it, or this market's changing, or all these things are happening. And you've got to just get up each morning and be thankful for 3 or 4 things that you have and start your day off with that Compound Effect book, and being thankful and grateful to start your day and let your day compound in that way and not a negative way to try to help combat that. But you have to keep being systematic, get those systems in place. Christi can tell you exactly how to do that. They mastered the art of getting systems in place before systems were even cool. And so, and don't you know that, do you feel the same way that has really changed your business life because of those systems?
That was the key. That was the key from to tripling our business was putting those systems in place. Absolutely. And a lot of that came from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's all written out there as far as some of the basic stuff. And it's a very technical book, and you have to take it in bite-sized pieces. A lot of people read it once, but my thought is you need to read it at least 5 times. But if you keep doing that, and it doesn't matter, maybe it's a different one, but you have to find those systems that you can run the business with, because if not, then it's just it's not sustainable or scalable.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the key. That's what they need to do. Try to get out of your head and just keep pushing forward. Some days will be easier than others, but every day is moving towards that end goal.
How long have you lived there in Florida now, Becky?
Gosh, since April 11th of this year. So just a few months.
Just a few months. Of course, you're not ready to come back. Of course.
6 months. 6 months. I'm excited to see the season. So one of the things that's really different in here in Oklahoma is Oklahoma has a super crazy busy summer season, spring and summer. And then once school starts, it tends to slow down a little bit for people who aren't doing their systematic approach to lead gen. For those people, it doesn't slow down at all, but there's a season for house hunting, right? And here it's the complete opposite. The house hunting season here is November to April.
Okay.
Because of everybody coming here for the weather during the winter. So there are a lot of people here looking in town looking for those second homes during that time.
That makes sense. So that's probably a nice niche market with that second home. Are you seeing, how does the financing work out there? Are you guys seeing a lot of cash, a lot of loans?
So much cash.
Yeah, I figured.
53% of the deals that closed last year here in Florida are cash.
Wow.
It's really high. And the big difference is, because I'm like, COVID brought cash out everywhere. I'm learning that's just normal here.
Gotcha.
We have a lot of international people coming in and buying. Many people are buying a second home or a beach home, or they're paying cash for it. They're maybe retiring and using that cash from those funds to purchase.
They're either moving into Florida or moving in as a second home. So one of the two. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Either retiring and moving here like Brett and I did, but we're not retired. Thank goodness.
Just wanted the retirement lifestyle.
Yeah. But either that or buying a second home with the goal of being there eventually full time. Then they start telling their friends about it. And then over 1,000 people a day, as I said, are moving into the state.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
Consistently. Yeah.
Wow. So talk to me then about what some of the agents, you obviously have worked with so many people here in Oklahoma, and now you're working with agents in a totally different market that is a major market. More, I would say Florida is a major market, even though your area might be that secondary niche. What are they doing differently, or what can agents here in Oklahoma take lessons from and work for us?
Yeah, I would say the brokerage, I'm at Engle and Voelkers here in St. Pete. It is a really high, collegial group of people. They work together so well. There's not a competition feeling at all here. And with the types of deals that are coming through, it could be $180,000 condo or a $22 million beachfront home. The person also needs a plane and a yacht and this. They help each other regardless of what that is. Treat every single person the same. They all get this red door service. They all get treated like they're royalty. And so with that type of environment at the brokerage I'm at now, it just brings in a group of advisors, and we've grown. So I've got 28 new people since I started here.
Awesome.
I love it.
So what I'm hearing is treat our clients, no matter what their price point, with the highest level of customer service as possible.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It doesn't matter. What they're purchasing is their dream home, regardless of what size it is or what price range. And that's what they do here. And in Tulsa, it was the same way too. Here, we just happened to go up a little bit more fairly often because we're in a beach property. We're in a beach location.
Are you finding that lead flow is slowing down in your market, or are you guys finding that it may be cooling off, but things are steady Eddie?
It's cooling off. The lead flow is slowing down.
Gotcha.
As far as purchase lead flow. Now, going out and getting it, we're having a lot of success with that. A neat little trick or something to do that we've loved. Maybe Oklahoma can try this. My buddy's there. It's called door carting.
Okay.
And we rent a golf carts that hold 6 to 8 people and play like ice cream music and take popsicles and whatever. It's fall now, so you have to think of something
I love it. Yeah.
But they would go and knock on doors with that in mind. And then we always would have a QR code available for someone to enter their information or send it to us right away. Always remember when you go do things like this to ask for some contact information. That's why you're there. But any way we can make it fun, that's what we're doing.
It sounds like you guys are doing it in a group effort. I know a lot of times people will do door knocking and stuff, and it can feel isolating, but you get more energy when you're doing it in a group effort. Are you guys feeling that?
You do, exactly. And what the people that went on these different outings as we did them, they just agreed to share. Whatever business came in, they would either line it out, and you get to or draw for it. It was a lot of fun even deciding who was going to get what. One group said everything we get, we'll all work together and do it, and we'll all reap it, the benefits.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's really nice. I really like that. It's a spin on door knocking a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they coming out to you guys because you have the music playing? And
yes, we play. So on Spotify, you can get the ice cream truck song.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There
and
you go.
Austin, our VP of marketing, my best buddy here, love him to death, but he plays that like on this really nice system that we have on the back of the golf cart. And the kids are running out the houses and bringing their parents out because we're not there's grown-ups out here. But it was really fun. A lot of great energy, and people came out. They loved that we were doing it. And then on a class that I taught this week, I played a video from a Tom Ferry girl that farms, and she does something similar to this that I thought was so exciting. In her farm, once a month, she has an actual ice cream. In the summer, it's an ice cream truck that comes the first Friday of every single month. And they know it's coming. She plans it and she pays for the ice cream. The kids come out. She's out there. She gets 6 listings a year just from the cart. And then when summer's over, it's an In-N-Out burger truck. That's there the first Friday of every month. So it's after school the first Friday of every month. And she's been doing it for 5 years.
That's fantastic. But I have to stop you there. You guys have In-N-Out in Florida?
We don't.
Oh, okay.
We did. We'll have to get a different truck.
Gotcha. I was like, wait a minute.
If I tell you we have it, are you coming here?
I might do that. I know Ryan would get in his car right now.
So tell him there is one here. I'll find it.
I'll do that. Oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. I really like that. And I think that is something that we could definitely use here for sure. You know what, Becky? Tell me, what does home ownership mean to you?
So this speaks to my heart. This really speaks to my heart. Home ownership to me, I don't know if you remember the Code of Ethics, if anybody thinks about that, but I heard this early on when I first was getting my license, and it's stuck with me ever since. But like, it starts out in the preamble of like, under it all is the land.
Right. So yes.
That to me was such a heavy, important statement. Everything about what we do is on top of this land, and we're given the privilege of selling it and helping people create this dream and this life. And it is to me, a grave responsibility of us to continue to educate ourselves and know what we're doing and be professionals in this industry. But that's what real estate means to me. Is like, sometimes I don't feel worthy. Like, how did I get to fall into such a huge responsibility? I don't take it lightly.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting when real estate just comes into your life and it's never the same?
Never the same.
Never the same. Becky, I appreciate you joining us today so much. I'm so excited to share this podcast with our local industry here in Oklahoma. And I know that Florida is going to benefit greatly from having you there.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Christi. Love you and miss you, and send my best to everybody in Oklahoma.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Oklahoma Real Estate Radio. If you like our show, please make sure to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite streaming device is. Also check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and we will see you on the next episode.